Okay. Because they have the training that they have to go through. Right. As I'm getting trained. Okay.
Oh, just.
Okay.
They bill us for the publication.
Good evening. We'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sylvia,
Here.
Councilmember Reagan Ford,
Here.
Councilmember Corey Daisy,
Here.
Councilmember Jim Daisy,
Here.
Here. Councilmember Sherry Tucker,
Here.
Councilmember Amy Bowers,
Here.
my ex member Dorothy Johnson.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You should have all received the minutes from the May 4th meeting.
Move they're approved.
Second. Second.
Okay.
I have a motion by Councilperson Daisy and a second by Councilmember Taggart. Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Minutes stand approved unanimously. Rick? Rick,
Rick.
could you please shut that door? Sorry. Are there petitions or comments this evening? Petitions or comments? None? First on the agenda, we are recognizing the Park Director, Jim Hancock, who is retiring. If you come forward, Jim. I know you hate this, but sorry. So because of COVID, we didn't have our Christmas party. And I was to give this to you, and this is for 35 years of service to the people of our community. And I know you've been here 36, but I wanted to give you this, and that would have been it. Or
Very nice.
And at Jim's request, he did the money that we would have spent on a plaque. He asked that we make a donation. So there's your check to give.
Could you give this to multiple myeloma?
I can do that.
Great.
Thank you, Jim. Now you can make me cry. Stop doing that. I just want to say thank you for your years of service. I know you have taken our park into a completely different direction. You've helped lead us through the phase 1 and phase 2. And I do want to share this. When we had the regional cities grant and we were told that we had the opportunity to go with phase 2 for the sports complex, Jim looked at me in my office and said, there's no way we're going to be able to raise that much money. I said, yes, we will. And we did.
We made it.
We made it.
Yep.
And under your leadership, it is a beautiful complex. And I know you became like a construction manager, things that you never thought you would do. And now the new direction for the campground and all the things that we're doing in the park. And I cannot thank you enough. You've seen a lot of changes through the 36 years, and I appreciate everything that you've done. So now I want you to talk.
Oh, I can't talk.
Okay. I gotta say something about it.
It's been fun. It's been a great place to work, great community. I mean, all the people, it's just been a great place to work. My coworkers, they've been great, helped me a lot. I got a lot of help as park director. A lot of good people. Tom Jansen, I have to mention him every time somebody asks me. So it's been fun, and thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate your work, too.
If any of you wanted to take a picture as far as a family, if you want to come up and take a picture of Jim, receiving his plaque from the mayor, you can.
I guess she wants to redo.
Thank you. Thank you for your service to the city.
Congrats, you're too young.
Oh, yes, it's amazing. Quite the tribe.
It's all about family.
Yes, it is.
All right, everybody say cheese. Took so long.
Did you smile? Did you smile?
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, let's go.
Carol.
Yeah.
Thank you also for what you've done and the support you've
Thank you.
given him.
No problem. It's been great.
Okay, we gotta get ourselves back together after all that.
You're fine.
You should all have resolution 1078, tax abatement for Salty Holdings.
Law and ordinance would request reading resolution 1078, this is tax abatement for Salty Holdings. Would like to have it read in its entirety.
Resolution number 1078, a resolution approving the deduction of assessed valuation for an eligible vacant building located within an economic revitalization area, ERA. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Kendallville recognizes the continued need to stimulate growth and maintain a sound economy within its corporation limits. And whereas the laws of the state of Indiana provide for tax abatement for the purchase of an eligible vacant building in an economic revitalization area, ERA, as set forth in Indiana Code 6-1.1-12.1 et sec. And it is advisable that the procedure be continued for processing such abatement applications within the city of Kendallville. And whereas the Common Council of the City of Kendallville has established certain areas within the city of Kendallville as an ERA in order to stimulate employment, growth, and private investment in real property improvements, new machinery and equipment, and other economic benefits. And whereas the taxpayer, Salty Holdings LLC, estimates certain benefits to result from the purchase of an eligible vacant building within said ERA, and whereas the Common Council of the City of Kendallville desires to promote and support the growth and prosperity of commercial entities contained within and designated RA within the City of Kendallville through prudent and proper use of the economic development tools available. And whereas the applicant making a request for deduction from assessed valuation understands and agrees that they shall not cause the City of Kendallville to repay any tax allocations received by the City of Kendallville due to any appeal of assessed values or taxes paid. And whereas the Kendallville Economic Development Advisory Committee has provided the Common Council of the City of Kendallville with a favorable recommendation for this application. Now therefore be resolved by the Common Council of the City of Kendallville, Indiana as follows. That the following taxpayer be entitled to a 100% deduction from assessed valuation for year one, an 80% deduction from assessed valuation for year two, a 60% deduction from assessed valuation for year three, a 40% deduction from assessed valuation for year four, and a 20% deduction from assessed valuation for year five, as provided in Indiana Code 6-1.1-12.1-4.8 version B, et sec, for a period of 5 years on the eligible vacant building as provided in the application and the state benefits form SB-1/vacant building deduction. The name Salty Holdings LLC, the location 2720 Marion Drive, Kendallville. Base assessed valuation eligible vacant building, $699,300. Number one, this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage. Number two, upon adoption of this resolution, the clerk of the City of Kendallville, Indiana shall cause a certified copy of this resolution and the statement of benefits form SB1/vacant building deduction to be filed with the Noble County Auditor. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from after its passage and approval by the mayor.
I move we approve resolution 1078.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Daisy, a second by Councilman Ford. Is there discussion? This is as you can tell, he has a projection of adding people. This is a business currently here that's growing, taking a vacant building. Great things for the city. So, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Resolution 1078 passes unanimously. Thank you. You should have all received the Aviation Commission minutes from the April meeting. You should have also received the Park Board minutes from the May 10th meeting. And the April report from the police chief. And if there are no questions or comments, we'll move down to new business, please.
Under new business, law and ordinance will request a reading of General Ordinance 1237. This is longevity pay. This is eligible for first reading. Like to have it read, title only.
This is General Ordinance number 1237, a general ordinance amending General Ordinance 1194 regarding longevity pay for full-time employees of the city of Kendallville, Indiana, Noble County.
I move we approve General Ordinance 1237 on first reading.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Councilman Daisy, second by Councilperson Ballard. Is there discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to explain to a few people. This is something that was passed in our salary ordinance last fall. We just didn't have a resolution for it in order to pass it out. But it has already been in the budget to be handled. And there is one change I'd like to see us make, and that is to, instead of capping our longevity at 30 years, I'd like to see it continue on in perpetuity as long as the employee's here. If they're here for 45 years, let them have the $100 a year. I would like to see that amendment made to the. Any other?
Further discussion?
Well, I have questions. And to be quite honest, I mean, I support our police and fire department, and our dispatchers as well. But I'm concerned about street department guys. They take a risk of their life every time they go out onto the street, or every time that they dig a hole in the sewer lines. There's a risk for them. My gut's telling me that we should be doing more for them too, if we're going to do this.
The one thing that we discussed back in the fall when we were preparing the budget, summer, okay. This was brought to us originally by Rob, and Lance, after he became chief, was very supportive and wanted to see us do something with this. I value every one of our employees. I really do. But the cost, what it's costing the city to replace officers and firemen versus what it costs to replace other employees in the clerk's office, in the water department, in the street department. Not that they're not important, not that they're not doing a good job, they certainly are. And this was not intended just because they have a dangerous job. This was intended to keep and maintain officers that have got the experience to train our second and third and 4-year officers and firemen that we have on the trucks.
Don't we also have a problem finding the credentialed or the trained people for street department and water and sewer departments? And don't we have trouble with those jobs too?
They certainly get those certificates. And I'll speak about the wastewater treatment plant. They don't have to have them when they're hired. They achieve them while they're employed. When they achieve those certificates, they get an increase in their wage, their hourly wage. Same way with any other department. If in the clerk's department, if someone becomes a deputy clerk, they get a higher wage than one of the girls sitting at the front window.
But are they getting longevity pay too?
Absolutely. All of our employees get longevity pay.
And they all get the same amount. That was corrected a few years ago, that they would all receive the same amount.
Yeah, they all get a longevity pay.
Okay.
So the bonuses are not new, is what you're saying. This has been in effect. I'm just trying to understand as well.
This bonus has not been in effect prior,
Okay.
Jason first.
but the longevity has been 24 years, do you think, Scott? 25?
That's quite that long, but it's
It was under Mayor McGann that we started the longevity program.
I've been here 21 and we've had it the entire time.
okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It started underneath Mayor McGann. It was $30 went up to 35 or 40. And then everyone went to 100.
But it was budgeted for.
Okay, and that was my next question. So it's been budgeted, even the bonus monies has
Yes,
been budgeted.
yeah, this bonus money was budgeted last summer when we were putting together the budget.
Okay.
That's when we discussed it.
So the council did pass that budget. They all saw what was in the budget.
Okay.
This is just something that the clerk treasurer has brought to her attention for the State Board of Accounts. We have to have everything in an ordinance before we can pay it out. And this was omitted. And so we're just
And
trying to
that's the
correct
only
that.
reason this come out.
Yeah.
But after I was reading this and after the finance committee met just a little while ago, and one of the suggestions was to continue giving the way the ordinance is written, it's capped at 30 years. We just had a man retire with 36.
Right.
You know, we've had other employees that's had, well, Scott's got 30-some. I'm just saying, I feel that I would like to see this ordinance amended for a second reading to read that continues in perpetuity while the employee is employed.
And I agree with that.
All right.
It just,
Further discussion?
If that is amended, then does that amend the bonus as well?
No.
Further discussion? I have a motion by Councilmember Daisy, a second by Councilmember Ballard. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. General Ordinance 1237 passes unanimously on first reading. Allowance of bills and claims, please.
Finance Committee would request that we approve claims 68310 through 68426, the total amount of $689,092.12.
I have a motion by Councilmember Daisy and a second by Councilmember Ballard. Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Bills and claims passes unanimously. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting adjourned.